All right, here's the situation at the end of the 13th turn AM on December 22nd, 1944. The Germans broke a big gap in the Allied lines through here, and things were looking good. And then there was this wave of American reinforcements along here, and they've come on from the west map edge, and we've got some pretty big US armoured divisions coming on and brigades, and they've really blocked that German advance. They have decent offensive capabilities and established some pretty good defensive positions. So I don't know what the Germans are going to do here. This is where this big wave of reinforcements came on. Luckily for the Germans, they do hold a lot of the entry hexes way out on the left, and that occupied some of those US reinforcements. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entry hexes on the left here, keeping the Americans occupied. But even with that, a strong wave of reinforcements. Having said that, so they've opened a big gap here. They keep pushing now. They've opened this bridge across La Roche and Ardennes, and they're pushing through the Forêt de Raz-Albert towards Saint-Hubert. My God, my French sucks. And they're almost there. And they have the next turn. So they've got 8 factors here. This infantry can reach that as well. They're of the same formation. They can make it 2, I believe. So they will have at least 18 factors against 5 without an armour shift. If they can break a gap through Saint-Hubert, that could be pretty cool as well for the Germans. The Americans, they keep threatening to... actually, here it is here. There are 2 American units out of supply in this little gap here. So they've pocketed some very important American units, some good elite units, and a very tough... This is the... let me just show you this unit. They've pocketed the 3rd Armoured Brigade of the 3rd Armoured Division with that 10 offensive capability. That was a big mistake the Americans made, letting it get caught in there. Of course, they blew the bridge behind them, so they couldn't get out of there. So if the Germans can keep this pocket there, that'll get rid of 6 big American steps. They continue to drive, as I said, through here. Things here have really slowed down for the Germans. There's basically one little, 2 hex wide corridor they can drive down, and it's very difficult for them to do so. They did engage the Americans, which keeps them pegged in. But because of this sort of advance out here, a lot of the American units have now retreated up through Hotton, and around here you can see them behind the lines, which has left this very thinly defended. You can see the engineers just holding this position here, and a thin line of defenders. So I anticipate the 1st SS Division will be able to succeed eventually in driving through here towards De Boy and Hotton. I suspect both of these will fall maybe over the next 24 hours. The 9th SS Panzer Division was had fuel shortages and were out of supply. They did, however, force the Americans to retreat a little bit. They just couldn't advance into the area. And elsewhere, the Americans have set up a good defensive position behind... What is that river? Vestre River. Behind, in Verviers to the south. And the 67th Corps and the 1st SS is struggling to get across there. There's basically got ZOC bonds all along the river, so infantry can't infiltrate across the river, and it's hard for the Germans to displace those Americans across the river. So this is an example of a good defensive position along that river, along that flank. And so, I think German attention will be directed towards this open terrain through here. So, heading to the 14th turn, the Germans do have a wave of reinforcements coming. It's a long way for them to travel, though, by now. And I guess much of their effort is on this central area here, moving west from Bastogne, west from La Roche and Ardennes, and trying to push through across the Ourthe River in the centre here. Those early American losses, the substantial American losses to this point, is what's really hurting, because the Germans still have a lot of healthy units on the board. Yes, they've suffered some step losses, but not a lot. And it's that disparity in forces which is really giving the Germans the opportunity to attack like this and keep pushing the Americans back. But it's still, well, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turns left. There's still a lot that can happen. And the Germans still have a long way to go before they reach the Meuse, which is way back at the back there where those British units are. I'll see how things go and report back soon.